My name is Tai Zhen, and this is the Honorable Grandmaster, legendary, world-renowned LeonFu.com. Say hello. So we're the co-founders of www.cryptocurrency.market, and we just want to share our thoughts quickly why we're here and why we support the Decred project, right? Talk about the problem that you see that's in Bitcoin right now.
Well, I think all of us see what's.
Yeah,
I see what all of us are seeing what's happening, what's happened over the last year with Bitcoin, and the block size debate, and so whether or not SegWit should have been implemented or not, and everyone thinks that it's a scaling issue, right? It's transactions per second is what the debate has always been framed as. Should we do SegWit? Should we increase block size? Should we do Lightning Network? Should we do this? And we can all see that the community has not been able to make a decision. And the reason for that is it's not whether or not we should do SegWit versus increasing block size. It's that there's no governance process in Bitcoin.
So when the community hears the word governance, they assume that you're talking about a government, and that people in the crypto space don't want the government involved in their blockchain. So what does governance mean?
Well, governance is a process on how a community makes a final decision, and there is no process in Bitcoin and in many other crypto projects, not just Bitcoin. Typically, the only governance process is you have a benevolent dictator that kind of, makes a decision that he has enough moral authority to push through that decision. I would say that someone like Vitalik Buterin for Ethereum, or someone like Charlie Lee for Litecoin, or Satoshi Nakamoto if he were still around for Bitcoin, right? But that, in my view, clearly doesn't scale. It's like you can have this person, this figurehead, to make decisions, and that's better than no governance, I would assume. that what we see in Bitcoin, because if you have no one there, then we see exactly what's happening. Like a group of the community breaks off and forms Bitcoin Cash and Bitcoin Gold, while and then just evolves, and then no decisions are made. You look at how long it took SegWit to finally go through, and there was some all the drama that we're seeing right now is because there's no governance process. And I believe that going forward, the cryptocurrencies that eventually become, the leader of our industry will have figured this out to some degree. Right now, Decred is one of those projects that is trying to have a governance process from the very beginning. And whether or not Decred succeeds, I certainly hope it does.
Yeah.
But I believe that it's doing. Even if it doesn't, I believe that a lot of the work that's going on right now will be carried forward into will be either adopted by other projects or some version of it in the future.
Yeah, so one of the things that we saw was that, with the Decred project, was that they recognized this problem with this governance issue, with a final resolution or a conflict resolution issue, and that they recognized this several years ago and have been actively working on to solve this problem in the blockchain space. So that's the main reason why we, when we first heard about it, I think it was Charlie Lee who tweeted out about Decred, and then we researched it and we said, hey, these guys got, they have the right idea because they see the problem, they understand it, they recognize it, and they're actively building solutions for it. So that's why our team on the cryptocurrency.market channel, that's why we support this project.
And I'd like to make a point. It's that at least projects like Decred recognize the problem. The Bitcoin community doesn't think this is a problem.
Yeah.
They think this is a feature. They think that having all these trolling back and forth and having 10% of the mining go off into do mine Bitcoin Cash is a feature.
Yeah. So their common response is when there's a lack of governance, that it's a feature, not a bug. The reality, it's a bug. We don't believe that it's a feature. That's our opinion.
Yeah.
So that's just a quick thought on why we support the project. So thanks, Mike.
Well, guys, you have so much to talk about, and we want to keep talking, so I'm going to bring you back up a little bit later on in the
Absolutely.
show. Is that good?
Yeah.
All right, great. Let's give it up for these 10. And we are going to keep things moving.